This update is nuts, guys. My gosh, if this is all true, which I suspect it is, Blake Lively, you're awful.
Unless she backed up Blake's claims of SH, then they would release personal text messages about Taylor Swift to the public.
In this insane drama that is getting worse by the hour.
Guys, do you get how big this is and how much this is exploding?
Blake Lively got obliterated by her supposed ride-or-die bestie in court. But let's be real, can you fault Taylor for finally snapping?
If Miss Swift failed to do so, Miss Lively would release 10 years of private texts with Miss Swift.
Because Blake didn't just cross a line, she nuked it. Blackmailing Taylor with their private texts? That's not low. That's subterranean.
Blake Lively's lawyer allegedly threatened Taylor Swift and extorted her to release a public statement in support of Blake, or text messages would be released.
Blake's camp allegedly cornered Taylor into backing her Super Bowl no-show, or else face the nuclear option, a decade's worth of private messages dumped into the public. That's not PR drama, that's straight-up blackmail. No wonder it spiraled into a courtroom circus everyone's glued to.
He threatened to publicly release 10 years of text messages. Can you imagine all the texts back and forth about Taylor Swift's exes?
10 years of texts. Think about that. A mountain of gossip, private plans, and secrets nobody ever meant to see daylight. Threatening to unleash it all unless Taylor played along? That's not crossing a line, it's detonating.
Was the original letter that was sent by Brian Freeman. Well,
what makes this case even wilder is how deep it's cutting legally. Brian Freeman isn't lobbing gossip. He's swearing under oath, staking his career on every word. A subpoena to Taylor Swift's law firm has the courts combing through every detail. The fight just left the tabloids and entered the courtroom, where Blake's team can't spin their way out.
And it turns out that this dates back to actually February earlier this year, when he received a phone call from someone who wanted to tell him something.
The affidavit zeroes in on a phone call dated February 14th, 2025, Valentine's Day, of all days, when Blake's lawyer, Michael Gattel, allegedly demanded Taylor Swift publicly defend Blake's Super Bowl absence. When Taylor refused, Blake's camp supposedly fired back with the ultimate threat: unleash the private texts.
Also accused Taylor of Blake of asking Taylor to delete text messages.
And here's the kicker. Months earlier, Blake had reportedly urged Taylor to delete their entire text history. That means this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment meltdown. It was methodical. Asking someone to erase messages? That's textbook evidence tampering, and courts don't play around with that.
Mr. Baldridge had accused Mr. Gottlieb of extortion and ended the call. If this is what happened, this is extortion, and I believe this happened without a doubt. I'm taking this as...
This wasn't a petty argument. It was a flashing legal siren. When Taylor's attorney abruptly cut the call and accused the other side of extortion, that shifted everything. We're talking potential crimes, witness tampering, intimidation, even extortion charges. If proven true, the fallout could mean fines, sanctions, or worse. Suddenly, this isn't just celebrity drama. It's a legal time bomb in the heart of Hollywood.
Today, Brian Freeman sent an affidavit to the judge, meaning that someone has sworn to him that the information they gave him about Taylor Swift is true.
And the most explosive part? Brian Freeman didn't bury these claims in whispers or leaks. He put it all in black and white, filed in court, under oath, in a sworn affidavit for the world to see.
In this statement to the judge, he says, I received a voicemail on February 14, 2025, from a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, whom I subsequently called back the same day.
And the bombshell? The info fueling Freeman's affidavit came from someone inside Taylor Swift's trusted circle, a close confidant, not some shadowy, anonymous tipster. This insider has been cooperating from the start, giving the case a backbone of credibility the court can't ignore.
My office issued a subpoena to Venable LLP for the purpose of seeking aforementioned written communication.
That credibility triggered a subpoena straight to Venable LLP, Taylor's powerhouse legal team, demanding every written communication tied to the mess. The court isn't skimming headlines, it's digging deep, and the stakes for everyone involved just went sky high.
Brian Friedman responded to this. This was a letter where they, it should be noted, this was anonymously sourced, and they're just abusing us again, and this is categorically false, blah, 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 blah.
Blake's camp, of course, didn't sit back quietly. They went on the offensive, denying everything and filing a motion to strike Freeman's affidavit from the record. Their argument? The claims are false, and Freeman is abusing the legal system.
Well, it's not signed by Gottlieb. It's not signed, I swear by, this is false. It was signed by Ezra Hudson, a different lawyer, not from that firm, which was odd to me. It was a big red flag.
But here's the odd twist. The motion wasn't even signed by Michael Gattel, the lawyer at the center of the accusations. Instead, another firm handled it, raising eyebrows. It looks like Blake's team is shielding their key players, and that kind of sidestep never screams confidence.
Taylor Swift, one of the most litigious people in the world, is not coming forward to deny any of this. Typically, when her friends, women under fire, are put in the spotlight like this, she is very quick to go after and declare and have her team shut up everybody.
And then there's Taylor. Silence. No statements, no denials, nothing. For someone whose team usually pounces on the faintest rumor, this quiet is deafening. In cases like this, silence doesn't kill speculation, it fuels it. And right now, curiosity about what's really happening behind the scenes is at a fever pitch.
That is the fact that Judge Lehman actually did toss out the letter.
This saga didn't stay in whispers for long. It exploded into the courts. Judge Louis J. Lyman swiftly removed Freeman's letter from the record, ruling that his court lacked authority over the subpoena fight unfolding elsewhere, but not before warning that keeping such explosive allegations on file risked turning the trial into a circus. The letter may be gone, but the battle is far from over.
Now we know what she did to Taylor Swift, especially all these feminists supporting other women, and we know that she blackmailed her friend and pressured her to destroy evidence.
And the fallout? Devastating. Blake Lively's image has nosedived from Hollywood's golden sweetheart to an accused manipulator threatening one of the world's biggest superstars. Even her high-profile allies, Salma Hayek, Chris Pratt, are suddenly under scrutiny. Their once effortless camaraderie with Blake and Ryan now looks awkward, rehearsed, even suspect.
The media tried to paint us who were defending Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Wayfair, and all of them as misogynistic, and we just don't want to believe women. Where are all the Me Too people? Where are all the celebrity A-listers that should have her back?
Perhaps the loudest silence comes from Hollywood itself and the Me Too movement. Normally, when a woman levels claims of coercion or misconduct, the town rallies with hashtags, speeches, and solidarity. But when Blake cries foul, that chorus is nowhere to be found. The absence is deafening, and it forces the question, who does Hollywood really protect?
About a motion to strike opposing his subpoena to Venable.
Blake's team, of course, didn't take the hits lying down. They fired back, but in a way that raised more suspicions than it silenced. Instead of putting Michael Gattel, the lawyer accused of shady demands, front and center, they shuffled in another firm. That distancing maneuver looked less like strategy and more like damage control.
And most notably, the motion claims that the facts set forth in the 14th letter are unequivocally and demonstrably false, yet is unsupported by any sworn declaration to that effect, much less from Mr. Goethe.
And their response wasn't just denial, it was deflection. They urged the court to strike Freeman's affidavit, branding it false, baseless, and abusive of the legal system. They accused Freeman's side of spinning conspiracies and weaponizing the media against Blake. But here's the problem. When you focus on blaming the messenger instead of disproving the message, it usually means you've got something to hide.
Both of these parties, it's not just Justin's side, Blake's side is doing it too. They are both playing this in the press. And when Blake's team tries to play like, oh, we're better, we're not doing this, we're not making this a circus, come on.
Both camps are clawing for control. Blake's side is scrambling to bury Freeman's bombshells, while Freeman is fighting tooth and nail to keep them front and center. And really, if Blake had a rock-solid defense, wouldn't it be easier to just put the receipts on the table? This obsession with silencing the story reeks of fear about what might actually surface.
Interesting here that Taylor Swift has not come out publicly through some of her spokespeople to deny these things or these claims if they weren't true. She would jump on this instantly and say this isn't true.
And then there's the silence, the kind you can feel. Taylor Swift's camp hasn't said a word. Not a denial, not a clarification, nothing. This is the same team that usually blitzes the press within hours when rumors swirl around Taylor or her friends.
Isn't true. Where is Tree Payne? Tree Payne wouldn't let this just be out here if it was a lie, if it was false.
PR chief, Tree Payne, is usually a machine, spinning statements and shutting down falsehoods before they take root. But here, radio silence. No corrections, no denials, not even a vague, don't believe everything you read. When a machine that efficient goes dark, people start assuming there's fire behind the smoke.
We don't know if, there's been a lot of speculation about Taylor Swift, her involvement. She keeps making these denials. And a lot of us have been very critical of Taylor because, what's going on?
And make no mistake, the Taylor-Blake friendship isn't just strained, it's dead. No texts, no joint appearances, no communication outside of lawyers trading paperwork. That's not a falling out, that's a legal divorce from a friendship. When your only conversations are subpoenas, the bridge has burned to ash.
Taylor Swift, one of the most litigious people in the world, is not coming forward to deny any of this. Typically, when her friends, women under fire, are put in the spotlight like this, she is very quick to go after and declare and have her team shut up everybody.
Taylor's silence, paired with the cold distance between her and Blake, only sharpens the blade against Blake. Public opinion fills silence with guilt. What started as a private feud is now a full-blown scandal, and every quiet minute makes the blackmail claims land harder. Sometimes silence isn't strategy, it's surrender.
This is so many layers of the legalities, the crimes that would be committed if this actually happened is outrageous. So of course they're coming out there with this.
Blake's camp is in full damage control mode, scrambling to bury documents, deny allegations, and stall at every turn. But the legal tug-of-war over what the court will or won't see only proves how high the stakes really are. While Blake fights to smother the truth, Taylor's team is playing chess, dropping key revelations at the exact moments they'll sting most.
Where in the world is the denial? None. It would be all that you would see.
Taylor's camp, meanwhile, is guarding her image with silence that feels more strategic than scared. No rushed denials, no panicked press releases, just quiet confidence. Blake's frantic attempts to suppress evidence only make her look guiltier, while Taylor has already shown she doesn't flinch under courtroom pressure. What Blake hoped to silence has snowballed into one of the most brutal takedowns in recent Hollywood memory.